Well, in this video, what I wanted to kind of show you was just the initial part of packing and preparation and the first parts are key to everything that we do in the packing world. We want to treat these animals right. We want to be able to use them tomorrow and next week and next month and that sort of thing. And it generally boils down to how we start out the actual process of packing. So welcome. I'm glad to have you. And let's take a look at all. You're going to get to know Brownie a little bit through this class. We can't use live animals right now because we're not able to bring them up to the college because of all this stuff that's going on. But anyway, the first thing is I'm going to have a brush. I don't have one with me right now. I'm going to put a brush. I'm going to brush this animal down. I'm going to brush him no matter what. That's just what we do. We brush him. I don't care if I just put him up and took him out of the pen and I'm going to pack him again, or if I've just picked him out for the first time in a long time. I'm going to have a brush in this hand and I'm going to be actually feeling for any hot spots and sores that he might have. He'll let me know if I touch it with my hand down his back, withers, back, kidney area, in that area, this where the saddle's been sitting. Okay, he'll let me know. He'll give me one of these, and sometimes they'll be a little bit ticklish there, and you got to kind of check it a couple of times down over this back portion of the back, over top of the kidneys. That's really a tough spot. If you catch that early enough, then you can actually give them 24 hours, 48, 2 days off, and then you're back in business. But if you don't catch it and you go ahead and pack him or you ride him, in some cases, you might sore that horse up for the horse or mule up for the rest of the season. So that's why this is so important. Go ahead on both sides. Also, just kind of give them a little pressure and push and rub a little bit as you're brushing them. And if they wince, that sort of thing, check it out. If it is a sore, generally you'll feel a little more heat in that area. It's just a swelling area. And it just means there's a sore there. And it could get worse. Okay? So you might want to pat him up different if you have to use him. And or you might just want to put him back in the pen to heal up so that you can use him again in another day. So make sure that you check them out. You're just going to kind of apply a little pressure in all these spots where the saddle fits, maybe even down in his girth area and that sort of thing. So that's what you need to do in order to set your animal up. Make sure they're nice and brushed off. Get all the sand off of them and the dirt. Those things I generally use a curry comb and a brush when I brush them. And you can kind of do these things all in at the same time. We're all about when you got 2 pack trains of 10 going out, you got to be kind of efficient with your time. So we kind of speed dial this sort of thing when we're right in the middle of packing camp in and out, or want to get in and out of camp with clients and that sort of thing. Here's the main thrust of this video is I wanted to show you some pads. You'll notice that I've got 2 pads here and I'm going to use both of them. A pack animal doesn't have any way of compensating. He can't stop and let you know that the pad is not fitted right. It doesn't have enough padding and that sort of thing. So you can get too much, but I'd like to pad them up generously. And you'll notice I've got a felt pad and then a regular oversized pad here that are sewn together. Then I have a fleece pad underneath that. I want to inspect that before I put it on each time and make sure that that there isn't any debris that would cause a sore before I put it on there, just like you would your saddle horse. I'm going to actually put the bottom pad a little bit forward of my top pad when I put it on there, and I'm going to throw it up there. And this is a technique that one of my hands actually taught me years and years ago, but I've had to teach it to all of my employees for the most part, and even some really old hands that kind of looked at me cross-eyed when I said, I want you to pad up my mules and horses like this. You can do your own any way you want, but anyway, it really makes a lot of sense. when I throw that up there, I'm gonna actually put it on their neck, okay? And then I'm gonna push it back. So that just combs the hair back in the natural way that it lays. If I were to put it on there, and I've seen many old hands actually just throw her up there and go like that. Well, what you do is you pull all that hair forward, and that's a potential sore area where all day long it's rubbing underneath that saddle and the load that you put on them. So it can cause some real problems. Many people say, well, I don't know, he's just one of those animals that soars. Well, we've cured animals from that sort of thing. I've bought a lot of animals that they say they're just chronic and all that kind of stuff, and they're just always unsound and that sort of thing, just by doing this one little thing. So that's why I'm just saying it's so important. So where do you put it on the animal? Okay. The next step is that I want that pad, I want to fudge it forward to a certain degree, more than you would if you're just going to go out there in the arena. Arena, just think about it, is a level area, which is so unnatural for where you're going to be in the mountains if you're packing. Even if you're out here in the plains, you're going up and down and creek bottoms and all kinds of stuff. And then you get up in the high mountains where we might be going over past that's 12,000, 13,000 feet and that sort of thing. So everything's up and everything's down. And so I want that as far forward as I can. This pad has a tendency to always want to slip back. And if you pack some or you packed a lot, you'll notice that the saddle will be on top of here. It'll be on the bare horse, bareback, right here, and be just have the back portion of the saddle here, and the saddle pad eventually will work its way all the way off the animal if you just leave it. So that's one of the main reasons that I fudge this a little bit. The other thing is that I want to, when I've got all my loads together and I've got them all packed, is I want to be able to look down my string from my saddle horse that I'm leading them with and be able to see each one of those pads and check them. And if I've got some sticking out the front, I can tell that they haven't slipped back. I don't have to get off and adjust it and that sort of thing, or I can tell when I need to get off and adjust it so that I don't cause any undue sores that are going to cause me some problems later on down the road. So anyway, hopefully that was informative to you, maybe a few things you already knew, and I thank you for viewing the video.